Video blog.
Hey guys, back with some more playtesting. So, not a huge amount has... I haven't changed a huge amount since the last video. I've played around with a few numbers, made it so stuff is a little bit cheaper, because I think it was a little bit tight. But other than that, we're just going to keep on playing. Now, one thing I did notice is I didn't quite fill up this tank with Orchid Dotty back, so we're going to add one more of those, so that we're maximizing our prestige. And really the goal of this video is let's see if we can hit that rank 3. And that should be relatively easy as long as we make use of some of the new stuff that is available at rank 2. So get some of these larger fish. These are our first medium fish, yellow tang, and then we got some more stuff coming after that. So let's set it going. Now we could continue to expand, or we could wait till we get that yellow tang. I think we should just continue expanding. I think if you look, you can always have a little look at this and look where your points are coming from. Interestingly, we're not making much from the Orchid Dotty bags, which is kind of strange. I think it's because everybody comes in here. I think they always, if I remember correctly, I think they always appear in this square. It'd be good to randomize that actually. So they're always coming to here, and they're always seeing the Azure de Marzel, but then these guys aren't necessarily catching everybody. Now this is a problem. This tank isn't being heated fully, so and we're kind of waiting quite a long time, and the toolkit is all the way over here, and possibly I should move the toolkit into this little region here, given that this is where all of our equipment is. Yeah, I'm going to do that to speed things up by when Dante finally gets around to doing it. Oh, what did you not? Tank 4 looks a bit bare. I think it's full of decorations. I think that's a bug. Jess, having a go at my tanks. I think they're beautifully decorated, actually. I'll have a little look at that after this vlog. But that's what I said in the last episode. See, stuff will be broken, stuff will be imbalanced, but instead of doing this in my own time, I've decided to share it all with you guys. Oh, this is a problem. Okay, this feeding task can't be completed because we've actually run out of pellets. Our total bio load, right, the total amount of animals that we have is outweighing the amount of pellets we have. So, you know, I'm going to actually put one of these in here too. There's only... Now this, it's a shame we don't just have a bit more space in here. If I'd spaced these out a little bit more, then we'd be able to actually get access to all of the tanks from within this little area, and then Dante would never have to go outside. I'm not going to do that now because I think it's too much messing around. But you'll see that this will speed things up a little bit, hopefully, when he's refilling. So he'll go here. Will he go back to here when he needs to refill? Will he come here? We'll see. And great. We've now unlocked this yellow tang. So next we have the choice of these three. So we have the rocky overhang, which is cool. A bit more scenery. Scenery diversity is really good. We got this. This is a small fish. You can see another two. Now this is a bit like I might have talked about this last week actually. I think I did actually. So I won't go over that one again. And then we got the black bar soldier fish here, which needs a cave. So we can. It doesn't need a cave, it likes a cave. To maximise the use of this, it'd be good to get the cave first. So I'm actually going to get the cave, and then let's make in the meantime a tank with our yellow tangs. Okay, so let's have a little think actually. Where do we want to put our tangs? I think maybe along this wall. This wall's a bit crowded already, although that's where we've got the... You know, actually no, let's do this wall because we've already got a nice little staff area on the way. So what we're going to do is we haven't got our wall tank yet, which is a shame. We need some more science points, and luckily yellow tanks actually make quite a lot of science points. So we're going to make a kind of, I don't know, pseudo wall tank here, like this. And then when I say pseudo wall tank, it's because I'm almost building it into the wall like this. And then let's put in a couple of yellow tangs. Now we have to get those basic requirements sorted out. So we've got to get the heater and the filter. And then these guys also like plants. Okay, so we can get some bonus points if we put at least 4 plants into this aquarium. So there we go, bonus points. So now we're getting, is that right? 1620, yes, that makes sense because these plants are also just worth 1 each. And then we've got to check out the water quality. Now they need a water quality of 65, and it's currently going to end up at 60. So what we're going to do is add a couple of rocks just to bump it up a little bit more, and that's actually exactly at 65, which is perfect. One thing to bear in mind with these guys is they will bully wimps, so we don't want to put any wimps in there. Now one thing you might be thinking is like, why is this one at 65 and this one only at, say, 56? And that's because we haven't actually filled the capacity. So you have a choice. There's multiple ways of reaching a certain water quality. You can either have less animals in there, or you can have more filtering. So until we get a more powerful filter, I think this is the way I want to go. But later on, you kind of want to cram in as many animals as possible to get the most points as possible. So actually there is an advantage to having a big filter, and then you get to fill your tank. Okay, cool. And the final thing is we need to add some food. So we add a nori dispenser because these guys eat nori. Another thing is they might damage stony corals, but we don't have any of those yet, so there's nothing to worry about. So yeah, hopefully people start enjoying these tanks and we'll push up our rating a little bit more. New filter unlocked, wonderful. I should have had a little look at that, sorry. This one's got a filter power of 30. Basic one is a filter power of 10. It's got a slightly lower reliability, which means it will break down more often. And it's quite a lot more expensive, but then it's 3 times the filter power, which is kind of good. I still think balancing the numbers, I'm just playing around with stuff. The reason I made that one have slightly lower reliability is I don't want it to be too powerful going later into the game. So I thought kind of an idea of like a really powerful one that breaks quite a lot. Later on you'll get a kind of a bigger filter that's got, you know, even more power but maybe more reliable, something like that. I just didn't want like the first filter you unlock to be too powerful, but I did want to give you something that you could use to make slightly bigger tanks. So we have the option of getting the power heater. Now this will be required for big tanks unless we just use lots of heaters. I'm going to go for the wall tank because it is a better option. If you're going to be doing your tanks like this anyway, then the wall tank does have a higher capacity per square, and also it doesn't at the moment, but I'd quite like to make it that guests actually just like wall tanks because they just look a bit better. I mean, let's face it, this is what the guests are really looking at, and they can actually see the staff in the background. So I think it would be good to get some wall tanks. I mean, this way I'm building, this is me just kind of like planning ahead. I like to make these really nice paths for the guests to walk around. Now obviously as a new player you might not do that. You can just plonk your basic tanks anywhere, and this is the idea of that they're very easy to use, the basic tanks. I just happen to be using them in a wall tanky type way because I know that it's a good way of getting your guests to see everything. Now this guy's getting tired, so we need to give them some benches, otherwise they'll leave prematurely. So I'm gonna just skim this off. We'll put some benches there. So hopefully after they've kind of walked around most of the aquarium, doesn't matter which way they go, they will find a bench to sit down on. But it's too late for Harry, he's gone. So let's look at our point totals. So it's interesting, this one actually, not as much ecology as some of the other tanks, but actually a lot of science. And this would be even better if we filled it. You know, if we filled up those last 2 squares with one of these 2, then it would just push it to be slightly better than the other tanks. But that's just the, you know, that's the trade-off with water quality and stuff like that. And capacity. Rocky overhang. Okay, cool. So now let's get the black bar soldierfish. Because we've got the cave that he will enjoy. The kingdom muzzle is good, right? Because it's just a straight upgrade on the azure. But right now, I think we kind of do want more ecology. Now let's just go for the black bar. Now let's have a little look at our prestige. And wait, empty. Let's just make sure. Okay, let's just take it a little bit slower. All right. Okay, new tank. Alright. So we can get a corner tank, which has got very similar stats to the normal wall tank, except it's a corner piece, which is nice. It gets viewed on multiple sides. We can go for this heater. I think I'm going to get the heater. And that's the end of the day. Now let's just take stock for a minute. Did everybody get fed yesterday? Now, it's no longer easy to find out whether everybody got fed, so that's definitely something I think I need to add. I'd love to add a big table which showed every single animal, and you could just see whether their requirements are being fulfilled, because right now you actually have to go and look at them. Basically it will show you whether these are, if they've not been fed, this will kind of have a negative on it. I think everything got fed. They're getting tired, so I think I think a good thing to do would actually be replace this with the wall tank now we've got access to it. Not sure what the simplest way of doing that is. I think maybe moving this over here, and then let's put a wall tank here. In fact, you know what, let's just make a really big tank. Like, let's get some density, some point density going on here. Something like that. Given that we got the space. Okay, and then let's transfer these things across. Where should we put these? Yeah, we can still put these here. Now, we're probably going to need more than a couple of rocks to... Oops. Deal with the water quality requirements. And we certainly haven't got the heating requirements done. So we haven't got that power heater yet, but we do have these basic ones. I'll just put it over here. It would be more efficient to have it near a toolbox. In fact, we should put another toolbox in here as well. It's expensive, isn't it? You know, once you start building stuff, it all adds up. Okay, so let's check the water quality. Tank. Okay, tank's 5. You're over here. Should we sell it? I think I'll just sell it. Okay. Water quality is steady. Oh, okay, yeah, because there's so... Right, that actually makes sense. There's so few people in this tank that actually it's quite easy to keep it all filtered. So let's put some more stuff in. So we could have some more yellow tangs. Maybe one more yellow tang. And then we've got another 16... No, that's not right. It's 21 to deal with. So we could put a shoal of these guys that like to shoal, or we could put some orchid dotty backs. Now none of these eat the same thing. Maybe I'll go for orchid dotty backs. Now that's what I wanted to look at earlier, is check out what's earning us our prestige. So we're getting a lot from those tangs, so those really good addition. Just 3 people are generating 6 prestige there. Half and half chromis is still doing good. Not doing so good on the orchid dotty backs or the azure demoiselle. I think topping up with those to increase the chance of those coming in. Let's just you know what, no, and then one more yellow tang actually. Okay, how are we doing for... Okay, wow, water quality really, really low. So let's sell this filter and replace it with a power filter. Now this will break more often, but it's so close to a toolbox that hopefully it'll be okay. And now we've got 65, which is exactly what these guys need. So we're going to have to leave it there. So you see, this is the interesting thing when you start to get larger tanks. The equipment requirements can, you know, start to add up. So let's go for that and let's just see what difference it makes. I mean, this now has a 4440 point value, which is kind of the same as a couple of these. It's a really nice point density. Maybe we should, you know what, let's just get a rocky overhang in as well. Just for the scenery variety. And hopefully we start seeing this affecting our prestige ranking. This guy's tired. Will they see a bench in time? And we're at 12 o'clock. Okay, I'm just going to speed up for the rest of the day, and I'm going to just see, I'm going to watch Dante and see if he is managing to see everything. I think it's probably time we got another staff member. Okay. Well, let's get a girl, so we're not... so we've got equal opportunities. Let's get Rachel. Okay. And I think we've probably got enough money to... There's Dante's just about to fix this, so I think that's going to be okay. Yeah, there we go. Let's build another tank, and hopefully that will be enough to put us over the edge. Something like that. Let's actually just do this if we got enough space. Now, how much space is this? 27. So we need... Man, we really need that power heater. We're going to have a couple of these. Oh, that one's not accessible. Well, it is, but it's not going to be if I put another one next to it. That's okay, though. And then we need... You know what, let's go really heavy on the rocks. Because these guys don't need plants, because they're not... Okay, I know it looks a bit boring, all the same rocks, but you'll get to unlock more rocks later, don't worry. So that's going to give us quite a lot of filter power. Then let's add our black bar soldier fish. Let's go for 4 of them. these guys actually don't need that higher water quality, but they do need at least something. So let's add, I think we could probably get away with a basic filter. Let's put that there so there's still a space for them to feed. And that will actually do that. Okay, and let's see, that should probably be enough to get us all the way to 30, I reckon, once these people have seen it all. Oh, look at that, we just popped up to 25. We just got our power heater. Let's unlock the last thing. We're getting very close. And that's the, isn't the final animal? No, we've got one more animal we can unlock, which is the Arabian blue line dotty bag. It's got really high point values. It's a bully, and it's also got, this is a new one you've not seen yet, dislikes conspecifics. That means if there is another Arabian blue line dotty bag in the tank, it will get quite a big negative modifier. Basically, it likes to be the only one of its species in the tank. Otherwise, they fight and stuff like that. But very good point values for its size. So this is a really good one to put in some of these early tanks, but just one of them, as long as there is no wimps that they'll pester. Okay, we're on 27 prestige, we're very, very close, and suddenly our aquarium is just running really nicely. And there we go. Okay, so the final rank up, and then we're going to leave it there in this video. There we go, we're on rank 3, and this is all the stuff we get to play with in the next episode. Okay, we got some larger fish, we got the coral grouper, we got the volaton lionfish, we've got royal grammar and the coral beauty. This is our first angelfish, this is a dwarf angel. And we also have a lagoon tank, which is our first deep tank, which will be quite interesting. Now, we don't have access to this stuff yet. We just have, we can just research it. But we do get instant access to the fizzy drink machine because it's at this rank that people start to get thirsty. And we get a new way of making money. But I'll tell you more about that in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.